Hi there, welcome back once again. So I hope that I'm audible. So if you have any problems with the sound or presentation, please let me know in the comments. So before starting this webinar, please wait for some time so that other students can join this program. Okay. So I request every student to wait for a few minutes. Okay. So guys, thank you for your patience. Anyway, let's start the webinar. If you have any doubts or questions during this section, there will be a Q&A section after completing this webinar where you can ask them and get them clarified. So without any further delay, let's get started. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Evin and I work as a software developer at Nordesk. So we're gonna conducting this webinar as a part of career development and talent acquisition program at Nordesk. Now you may ask what exactly this career development program is. Now this career development program was actually a part of our hiring process. But why? Why we need to conduct this program? The answer is quite simple. As you already know that professional courses like BE or BTech in computer science or information technology focus more on theoretical knowledge instead of practical experience. But unfortunately, IT companies doesn't have anything to do with this theoretical knowledge. Instead, they are constantly looking for individuals who are well at programming and creating real-world applications. Now I believe that you got the idea behind this career development program, right? So with this program, we aims to find some students who would like to learn software development and to build their career as a software developer. Okay. So through this program, you will get all the necessary training, mentors, project and 6-month long free internship with a project-based stipend for all the qualified candidates. Not only that, if you perform well in this program, we will directly hire you as a software developer. So this program will assist you to become a highly skilled developer. So I request everyone to watch this webinar completely. Okay. So first of all, let's discuss about what we will cover in this webinar. Initially, we're going to discussing about how to select an appropriate IT domain. Then we're going to discussing about who are trained freshers and why do companies favor them. We're also discussing about how do AI impact in IT industry. Finally, I'm going to explain how this program helps you in choosing your best IT career, right? So let's get started with selecting appropriate IT domain. Now, when it comes to IT field, there are a bunch of different subdomains available. For example, let's say we have digital marketing, Android developer, full stack developer, Java developer, main stack developer. There are a bunch of different domains available, as you already know about all these kinds of things. Now, when it comes to different kinds of domains, many students are confused about which one do they need to choose for a better future. Now, in order to understand that, let's start with an example. First of all, you need to check whether there are enough opportunities available in that particular domain that you are looking to build your career. Let's take digital marketing as an example. Now, when it comes to digital marketing, as you already know that it's very easy to learn when comparing to all other fields. So, if it is easy for you means it will be easy for everyone who is approaching this field. So my question is, if you are planning to choose digital marketing as your career after your graduation, will that be a correct choice? I would argue that it's not a good choice because the opportunities are very limited when it comes to digital marketing. Also keep in mind that if it is easy for you means it will be easy for everyone, right? Most of the time, digital marketers are hired by business consultancy company like ours. IT companies doesn't have much vacancies in digital marketing field because they are developing softwares, right? But in our case, we do have a lot of clients to publish their advertisements, right? And do you have any idea how many digital marketers are working here? It's just two for this entire company, right? And this is exactly what the case of almost all the companies who are going to hire digital marketers. So what's going to happen here? The competition have become more and more tight because it's very easy to learn and the vacancies are extremely limited. Therefore, digital marketing is not a good choice for a beginner, right? Now let us take one more example. This time we are going to take data science as an example, right? The case is slightly different from our previous example because data science is not as easy as digital marketing, right? You already know that. Now, when it comes to data science, you will be getting a better salary when comparing to all other fields in computer science, but the problem is it's not suitable for beginners. Do you know why? Because data scientists are mostly hired by data-driven companies or the companies who is dealing with huge amount of data. For example, Facebook, YouTube, Google, etc. Not only that, vacancies are extremely limited at the same time. How many employees they need? just 10 or 20. That's it. So they're going to hire only top 10 from this entire world, right? But when it comes to other companies, it's just one. So not at all suitable for beginners. I believe that you got the point. So the conclusion is, while choosing a career, you need to choose the one with more opportunities and less competition. Fields such as cybersecurity and data science face same challenges. There are vacancies for those fields, but very few. And for those few vacancies, companies always prefer well-experienced candidates. Now we're gonna discussing about how programming is different from fields like cybersecurity, data science, and digital marketing. Now let us take an IT company as an example. Usually, in almost all the IT companies, projects are done by a group of people, not by a single person, right? Because most of the time, IT companies are engaged with large projects which cannot be done by a single person. Now, when it comes to a team project, usually 3 to 5 developers are a part of such kinds of teams. But what about testers? Only one is more than enough for a team. And when it comes to cybersecurity expert, one is enough for that entire company. So if an IT company is engaged with 3 to 4 projects, around 25 to 13 developers are required for that entire company, right? And when it comes to testing jobs, just 4 is enough. So we have concluded that software development or programming is one of the best career that you can choose when it comes to an IT field. Now we are going to discussing about will AI can replace programmers or developers in future? And the answer is very simple and straightforward. The answer is big no. I know that many of you cannot accept my argument, right? No worries, let's discuss with an example. Now, I know that every single day you're using applications like Facebook, YouTube, Meta. There are a lot of social media platforms available, right? So you are using these kinds of application every single day, right? So my question is it possible for an AI or generative tool like ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever it is it possible for such kinds of tools to create an entire Instagram or YouTube by itself? That's completely impossible. Do you have any doubts? After completing this webinar, just try to create a clone of YouTube using ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever the tool you like. Okay, just try it. I know that some of you can argue that it can improve in future. Yeah, that's for sure. AI can improve in future, but not only in programming, in every single field. Do you think if you're a doctor, AI cannot replace you? Yes, AI can replace doctors. For example, what doctors are doing? If you're just visiting a doctor and you are explaining about your symptoms and doctor is predicting what kind of disease you're having, ChatGPT can do that. Just try it. And what about surgeons? Many of the hospitals nowadays are using robotic arms inside operation theater, right? AI already replaces thousands of customer care jobs. So AI is gonna influence every single field in this world. Now, whatever the job that's based on memory power is gonna replacing you within 2 or 3 years, right? So how can we overcome that? Try to focus on fields like a coding that requires more skill and talent. And that's where the programming or coding comes in. I know that most of you have already heard about the term coding a bunch of times. It's not a single word, instead, it has an abbreviation. Let's check what exactly this coding is. In coding, C stands for creativity, that means thinking outside the box to solve problems. And O stands for organizing, which means structuring code effectively. And D stands for debugging, I stands for innovation, N stands for networking, and G stands for growth. Growth means constant learning and improvement. Now we're gonna discussing about all these kinds of things. Now, first one is C stands for creative. Did AI is creative? No, it's not. It can create some images, but when it comes to problem solving, AI is completely failure, right? Now, what about organizing? AI doesn't have any kinds of idea about what exactly this organizing is. Now, what about debugging? AI can't even think about debugging because debugging is one of the crucial part in software development. If you would ever tried AI for debugging, more than 95% of the time it give wrong result. And what about innovation? 100% sure AI is not at all innovative. It can create some result based on patterns or based on input that you are giving, right? I know that most of you already know that AI is not at all innovative, right? And the next one is networking. This is the one and only thing that I can help you. AI can help you to connect different kinds of APIs and concepts, right? So in networking, AI can help you. Now what about growth? That is constant learning and improving your solution or improving your existing code. AI can't handle it, right? Now, I know that many of you have already heard news like programming is dead, coding is no more, etc. What if I say it's just a marketing technique? Let's understand in depth. In 2021, GitHub released Copilot, but unfortunately, after releasing it, no one is buying that tool. Initially, Copilot was completely paid feature for GitHub users. Now there is a free version available, but during the time of its release, it's completely a paid software. But unfortunately, after releasing Copilot, no one is buying that tool. They have tried many marketing and advertising strategies, but unfortunately, nothing worked. But after some days, a news started spreading that AI is going to replace developers. We cannot say that it's done by Microsoft or GitHub, but after that, Copilot gained thousands of different users. Now, the CEOs, most of the companies started noticing this big difference. So, when they are releasing a big update on AI tools, they are using this same marketing strategy for building or for gaining popularity. Also, keep in mind that software development field is upgrading day by day, and AI cannot understand advancement that introduced yesterday. Because training AI is very expensive and it's usually done once in 2 to 3 years. But for us, it's very easy. Next, we're going to discussing about what are the things that you need to learn to become a high-paying software developer. Now, this is very important since I have already told you, usually in IT companies, projects are done by a group of people or by a team. Now, if you do not have profound and advanced knowledge in this section, you are not apt to work in such teams because each team member in a team has a clear path assigned to them. So that's their duty to complete it. So without having a proper knowledge, they cannot do that. And when it comes to pressure, it's completely zero. That's why IT companies prefer trained freshers than absolute beginners. And that's the reason why Nordesk is conducting this career development and talent acquisition program. And I have already told you this program comes with a free internship opportunity so that you don't need to go for any kinds of internship program after completing our training and career development program. So employers always hire trained freshers who have already completed internship programs. As I mentioned earlier, this program is designed for those who are really looking to build their career as a software developer. Next, we're going to discussing about this particular career development and talent acquisition program in detail. And this program is divided into 3 different parts and it's completely designed for absolute beginners who have zero knowledge in software development and coding. Now this complete program is divided into 3 different parts. In first part, we are focusing more on front-end technologies and programming languages. So in first part, we are learning 6 different programming languages, which include HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, SCSS, and Python. Now you don't need to worry about programming languages because if you learn at least one programming language properly, then you can learn any programming language. That is very easy. For example, if we consider Python and you want to write a conditional statement like if-else statement. So the way of writing if-else statement in Python and JavaScript and all other programming languages are almost same, only there are few syntactical differences. For example, let's look at this presentation. You can see if-else statement. It's a conditional statement and how it's written in different programming languages. It look almost same, right? So when it comes to programming languages, just try to learn at least one programming languages properly. Let's say JavaScript. So if you learn JavaScript means then it will become very easy for you to learn Java, C++, Python, or whatever the languages it will be. Now when it comes to second part, we'll be focusing more on main stack technology, which include MongoDB, Express.js, Node.js, React. Along with that, we are also teaching Django, Flask, Angular, and Nest.js. Okay. Don't worry about any of these kinds of modules. It's very easy to learn. Now you may ask why we need to learn these kinds of modules like MongoDB, Express.js, Node.js, etc. Right? Now, in order to understand that, let's start with an example. Consider a situation that you want to create a barcode or QR code scanning application. As of now, all you know about QR code is it's just an image. While scanning it, we can get some data. And that data can be a website address, mobile number, or whatever it is. But here the problem is when it comes to creating such kinds of application, you don't have any idea about how this QR code or barcode algorithm works. Without knowing that, you cannot create such an application. Now, what if I say you can create this entire application in just few minutes? Yes, you can do that. That's where Node.js came in. Just find out a library from Node.js that can able to analyze QR code. Then import that library into your project. For that, you need to write only 10 to 15 lines of code. So that's very easy instead of writing 15,000 lines of code for creating that entire application. So you are saving a lot of time, right? Okay, now welcoming back to our third module, that is internship. Right, internship will be available for all the students who is joining this program. That's completely free of cost. And for those who are performing well during this internship program, we will also provide stipend for them. For such students, along with internship certificate, we will also provide an experience certificate, which is one of the most valuable certificates in the world. Now, this program usually lasts for 6 to 8 months. That completely depends on your learning curve. Now, I have already told you this program was actually a part of our hiring program. So the whole point is if you can perform well in this program, we will directly hire you. So for front end, it lasts for 2 months, and for back end like Mindstack, it lasts for 4 months program, and internship comes along with this. In this program, you will also having many interviews, exactly same as like how a software company interviews you before giving you an offer letter. And do you know why we are conducting these kinds of interviews? Because we know that many students are feared of attending coding interviews. So if you already practice these kinds of live coding interviews, next time when you apply for a job, interviews won't be a big deal for you. Next, we're going to discuss about how we are going to train you. Our training is completely different from a normal training. And it's not just like watching videos or reading articles. And the reason is if you want to work in IT field or programming related field, you should be able to read and understand logic behind any of the code given to you. So I have already told you in companies, developers usually work in teams. So you should be able to read and understand code written by your co-workers. That's very important when working on a team. Without understanding existing code, you cannot complete your part. So you will become unsuitable to work on such kinds of teams. So with this program, we are aiming to develop a skill that will make you to read and understand logic behind any of the code given to you. Because of that, we are mainly focusing on project-oriented training. Now I'm going to explain what exactly this project-oriented training is. This entire course is divided into different chapters. And in each chapter, you'll be having videos, articles, coding exercise, and many other things to learn concept properly. After completing the concept, there will be a project that's completely based on that concept you have learned on that particular chapter. Don't worry about the project, it's just a small project that you can complete within an hour or two. Timing for this project are completely flexible, but I request every single student to spend at least 1 hour per day for the coming 6 to 8 months. You will also get one-to-one support from real developers who is currently working in software development field. This method will be followed for this entire program from starting to ending. Now that's all about this program. Now let's talk about the pricing for this entire program. Okay. Now my question is how much you are willing to pay for this entire program. This program provides you 8 months training program and 6 months of free internship program, around 10 to 20 one-on-one interviews, live coding and doubt clearing sections. All these kinds of things comes in one